Welcome to All Folks Racing PlayStation. It has been a while. We are still covering round 7, race 2, of course, with the Ginetta G57. What a beautiful car it is, and it has almost its own category in Project Cars 2. We are again at the Hockenheim Grand Prix circuit in Germany, and this is the qualifying for race 2. Simon Allen and Diogo Silva on the first row, followed by Caval and Jumbo. Dale Taylor, Darren Head only 6th, followed by Scott Davely, Jorge Jesus, Don John Scott and David Emge, and away they go. And the start, it's a good start by Simon Allen, and Simon Allen is going to go into the lead, followed by Caval and John Scott. What happened to Diogo Silva? Diogo Silva lost the position to Jumbo. He's in 4th place. A bit of pushing and shoving there at the back. There is Darren Head as well in 5th place, and Scott Davely is down to 9th, and something happened to John Scott. I'm not sure we are going to get a replay of that, but John Scott down into 10th place, and here are the leaders with Simon Allen ahead of Caval, and this is the replay from Caval's perspective. Look at this nice start by Kev, overtaking Diogo on the outside of turn 1. And let's see if we can see what's going to happen there. Well, it's let's see from Darren Head if it is a little bit more interesting. There you see he's in 6th place. Good start again. Jumbo on the inside of Diogo Silva there, and look at that, some people running wide in turn 1 as you would expect here at Hockenheim. And Darren Head, look at this, Diogo Silva trying to recover from that position loss. And there's contact there between Diogo Silva and Darren Head. Almost contact the second time. Darren Head in 5th place. And this is Jorge Jesus in 8th place. Scott Davely is ahead of him. And someone coming on the inside there. And that's Scott Davely and Dale Taylor. And more contact between Jorge and Scott. So a pretty eventful start, but well, a bit of no harm, no fall for most of these incidents or quasi-incidents. This is from Scott Davely in 7th place. Look at this, that was not a great start by, I believe, Dale Taylor. Dale tried to recover in turn 1, but ended up running wide, and here is the gefuffle between Jorge and Scott, with Scott actually down into last now. John Scott is, and then Scott Davely immediately on the inside of turn 2 recovers that 9th spot. 8th spot is of course David Emge. Nice start by David, avoiding all the carnage ahead of him. And we are back to the live race. Look at this, Cavallen bumping into Simon Allen with Jumbo in 3rd place. We have a pretty nice battle there for 4th as well, with Darren Head following Diogo Silva. I wonder if Darren is going to be able to go ahead of Diogo, the winner of race 1, of course. And this is Dale Taylor. It's a replay again of Jorge Jesus in 7th place. And that was Dale Taylor on the inside of Darren Head. And look at that, Darren Head got delayed there by that move by Dale. Of course, it is an overtaking point, but well, Dale coming from very far behind, and Darren ends up in 7th spot, and we're still on the first lap. Look at that group there with Diogo Silva, Dale Taylor, and well, no, it's not. It is Jumbo, Diogo Silva, and Dale Taylor. Look at this, Dale Taylor on the outside of Diogo Silva. Is he going to manage to overtake? No, is the answer. But there's a nice group here behind Jumbo. Jumbo in 3rd. 4th is Diogo Silva. 5th is Dale Taylor. 6th is Jorge Jesus. 7th is Darren Head. And the Allens are leading. It's an Allen 1-2 here on the first lap, and that's a very 2020 type of leaderboard, with the Allens dominating at least the first lap. Look at Diogo Silva all over the place trying to defend from Dale Taylor. Dale seems to me has more pace, and now he's coming on the inside, and I think that's job done by Dale Taylor. Dale up into 4th place. Jorge Jesus in. And George is spinning. And almost getting hit by Darren Head. And George spins again. This is a disaster for. And almost collecting John Scott there as he comes back into the track. Meanwhile, going back to the leaders, look at this, it's Cavallo not breaking himself and somehow managing to get the lead of this race, but he has to give the position back. I'm not sure if this was voluntary or not, but Kev Allen doing an overtake there at the hairpin that looked more, well, he didn't look completely in control of the car really. As a result, he has lost more time and is now being chased by Jumbo, who's in turn being chased by Dale Taylor with Diogo Silva in 5th spot. This is Darren Head recovering from that earlier incident in 6th place. David Emge in 8th. Scott Davely is already into 7th. John Scott and Jorge Jesus. Jorge was recovering from, well, he is recovering from that spin. Look at this Jumbo now, and this is Diogo Silva on Jumbo. Del Taylor is up into 3rd place. We haven't seen what happened to Jumbo, but something happened to Jumbo. He dropped a place, and now maybe he's going to drop another place. Diogo Silva in 5th spot, and we are on lap 3 already out of 13. And look at this, Diogo Silva is trying to chase Jumbo. Simon Allen, the leader of this race, 1.6 seconds, and there's a replay. Yes, this is the replay of what happened to Jumbo. I believe this is the entrance of the stadium section, and Jumbo is running wide, and look at that, he is running wide and almost there, contact with Diogo Silva, but thankfully he did not spin. Crucially, he only lost 1 position. Del Taylor is up into 3rd. And look at that, Diogo Silva now trying, he's going to try hard to make a move, but ends up losing control of the car, of this Ginetta G57 in the last corner. Back into the live race, we are on lap 4, no, lap 3, I'm sorry, we're still on lap 3. Lots of action still to come in this race. This is the replay of Diogo Silva following Jumbo. Now, can he do a good exit from the first chicane? The answer is no. I think he's probably too far behind to realistically make a move, unless you are Kev Allen on the previous lap and you just send it, which is I think what Diogo Silva is, well, at least he thought about it. On board with Diogo Silva now in 5th spot, the winner of race 1 of round 7. Now finds himself in 5th spot, and he is behind Jumbo, and the top 3 are checking out from everyone else. Look at Simon Allen, 1.3 seconds ahead of Kev Allen and 2.5 ahead of Dale Taylor. This is Jorge Jesus still in last place, and now on the inside there of John Scott, and I think his job done, and John does not have the best pace this weekend compared to other performances that we've seen from him. It is a combo that's not very difficult, but it does require a little bit of practice. Look at this, Diogo Silva continues to study that rear suspension of Jumbo as another lap goes by, and they're pretty much nose to tail the entire lap. Let's see what how this battle is going to evolve, but Diogo Silva seems to me is going to be tricky to get to a podium. Look at this, Jumbo is spinning, Jumbo is rotating, Jumbo is rotating, and he has rotated. He has rotated. This is the problem with this car when you ease corner entry too much speed, and it does tend to rotate, and thankfully for Jumbo it did not rotate that much, but it rotated enough for him to lose 4th place. Diogo Silva up into 4th spot. Simon Allen has been leading this race since the beginning from pole position. Kev Allen is in 2nd place. He was closer to Simon a while ago, but it seems to me that the gap now is, well, it is sort of stable, 1.4 seconds. Look at that, Kev Allen really trying hard to recover the lead of this race, or at least get closer to Simon Allen. Del Taylor in 3rd. 4th is Diogo Silva, 5th is Jumbo, 6th is Darren Head, 7th, Scott Davely. 8th, David Emke. 9th is George Jesus. And look at this damn head. Has found Jumbo. And this is the battle now for 5th place, of course. Let's keep an eye on the battle for 8th place, potentially between. And look at this. They are very close indeed. And in fact, the camera is going to move potentially to Jorge Jesus as he tries to make a move on David Emke. There they are. And this stadium section is certainly tricky. And Jorge Jesus is spinning again. Jorge Jesus is spinning into the pit entry. Jorge Jesus in 9th spins. Continues and retains 9th spot. Oh, look at that. This is a tricky car to control when you enter the corners a little bit too quickly. Look at this, the battle for the lead is again very much alive as Kev Allen is just behind Simon Allen. And look at this battle for the lead between the Allens. It's a very 2020 situation that we are living here in Volkswagen Racing PlayStation. Simon Allen and Kev Allen 1st and 2nd in these standings since the beginning, and we're already on lap 5, I believe. We lost the leaderboard momentarily, and Kev Allen really... Oh, and Simon Allen spins and hits the wall. Simon Allen from the lead, he presses the reset button, but Dale Taylor is gone. Simon Allen is down into 3rd spot. Yes, he is down into 3rd. Let's look at the replay. Was it just on his own? He's just running wide, is it? Yes, running into the curb and boom! There you go. Simon Allen is off. And he's still in the podium position, but now Kev Allen is leading this race. And we are almost at the midpoint. So Kev Allen, the new leader, after Simon Allen has crashed into the stadium entry of this Hockenheim circuit. As they go and complete another lap, this completion of lap 5, lap 6 is already being undertaken by the top 5. And almost Simon Allen losing it again on his own in turn 1, which would be a pretty disastrous situation, to be honest. As Diogo Silva almost spun there as well. Look at that, very difficult to control this Ginetta G57. Diogo Silva lost a second or so. Let's look out for battles. This is well, Jorge Jesus is in 9th, and he was trying to attack David Emke a while ago in that number 20, and then spun on the previous lap into the pit entry. Fortunately avoided entering the pits. Now he's back for more, and he is attacking the 8th place of David Emke. He's going to go on the outside there of the hairpin, or is he going to do... Ooh, look at that. Oh, and David Emke spins but rejoins the race. I'm not sure if Jorge Jesus was involved, if there was contact or not, but Jorge is now on the outside, which is going to become the inside, and he does get the position. He is up into 8th place. We are reaching the midpoint of this race. Race 2 in Hockenheim. Kev Allen is the leader. He over behind Simon Allen, and this is a very interesting battle with Jumbo there in the background, and Darren Head in 6th place. Lap 7 out of 13. We are at the midpoint of this race. Diogo Silva continues to chase Simon Allen and makes another mistake there, small mistake there, into the first chicane. And it seems to me that Simon has more pace than Diogo. He's checking out of Diogo Silva. And the top 3 continue to be Kev Allen, Dale Taylor and Simon Allen in this order, followed by Jumbo, followed by Darren Head. And maybe, just maybe, we can see Scott Davely in the background. We haven't, so the top 6 have checked out from everyone else. There is Scott Davely. He is 10 seconds, 12 seconds behind Darren. So the battle for the top 6 seems to be now independent of the battle for 7th, with Scott Davely ahead of a recovering Jorge Jesus, and then it's David Emke and John Scott. lap 7 out of 13, so we are past the midpoint of this race. Into the stadium section once again with Jumbo now in 5th place, and differences, gaps between the drivers are stabilizing a little bit. We are well, this is a combo with good racing potentially, but right now the positions just seem more or less stable. Let's see what the second half of this race has to offer us. Del Taylor is certainly gaining ground. Oh, Del Taylor spins. Del Taylor spins, presses the reset button, but surely he's going to lose a position to Simon Allen, or does he? Simon Allen right behind Del Taylor, and he's coming with more momentum, and Simon Allen is already in 2nd place, but now the hairpin is going to come, and Simon is on the outside. Del Taylor surely is going to try to brake later than Simon, and he does so and keeps the position, keeps 2nd place. Simon Allen still in 3rd, but look at that, the battle for 2nd place is very alive indeed. Simon Allen now on the inside, didn't really work there as an overtaking spot. Lap 8 out of 13 with the battle for 2nd place being the most interesting piece of action in this race. That is Del Taylor after a half spin, now trying to recover ground from leader Kev Allen. Kev Allen is in good shape now, 5 seconds ahead of Del Taylor, and Kev Allen could regain the top winner of Volkswagen Racing PlayStation in the rankings, having lost it to Diogo Silva in the previous race. Oh, look at that! Oh, contact between Alonso Afonso. That's Jorge Jesus and Scott Davely, and not sure what was going on there. I think Jorge had a go. Let's look at the replay to see what happened. Well, Jorge certainly braking very late, and now he has a better exit, and that Scott was taking the racing line, but George definitely coming with a lot of momentum there, and I think he was entitled to make a move. Unfortunately, it did not end well. They didn't lose a lot of time, but well, George is again in 8th place, and Scott in 7th. So let's see how that battle is going to develop in the last few laps of this race. But Kev Allen is looking good for his first win of the season, and almost almost everyone losing it at the chicane, but not quite. Jorge Jesus is having another go at Scott Davely. Let's see how this one is going to go. And George certainly seems to be braking later than, well, George seems to be braking later than Scott. And now look at this, they are nose to tail, and the hairpin is coming, so surely this is a golden opportunity for Jorge Jesus to go up into 7th place on lap 9, and he does so. Now, can he stop on time? Oh, and he spins. Jorge Jesus is definitely not having the day that he wanted. I think he just spun on his own, didn't he? Yes, a bit too much corners entry speed, and off he goes. Lose a lot of time. So keep an eye on this battle for 7th spot. George certainly making a good recovery since he was in last place, following an earlier incident. Oh, no, already wide there in this well, the newest part of the Hockenheim circuit, that sort of like infield between the old circuit and the stadium. And George is a bit all over the place now. He's just overdriving that Ginetta G57, and one of the things with this car is that he does not like to be overdriven, as it were. Leader Kev Allen, 39 wins in all Volkswagen Racing PlayStation. This could be his 40th, and again it would tie with Diogo Silva for the most wins in officially all Volkswagen Racing PlayStation races. And it would be his first victory of the season as well. Kev Allen looking good for, well, he's still 4 seconds ahead, 4.4 seconds ahead of Dale Taylor, as we are now on lap 10. Now Jumbo is having a go at Diogo Silva. Something happened to Diogo actually that we may have missed, because he's now 12 seconds away from the leader. He's 6 seconds behind Simon Allen, and he was certainly only a couple of seconds behind. So not sure what happened, but Diogo Silva still in fourth. However, it seems to me that the top three are more or less decided here, unless someone makes a huge mistake or has a problem. It's going to be Kev Allen, Del Taylor, and Simon Allen, with now Jumbo and Darren Heads, lap 11 already by leader Kev Allen, and Jumbo and Darren Heads still maybe having a go at fourth, which is currently occupied by Diogo Silva, the championship leader as well of the summer 2022 season. And this is Jorge Jesus having a third go at Scott Davely, and third time lucky is what George is thinking right now, as he definitely wants that 7th place. Now he's going to have to work hard for it. Scott is not an easy driver to overtake, and he's also a driver that very rarely makes mistakes, even when under severe pressure. So we'll keep an eye on this battle. Look at this, George just all over the place there in turn 1, but he is going faster than Scott. I wonder if he just can complete a clean overtake, which is not super easy with this car. Now he's again very close behind Scott Davely into the hairpin. We are on lap 11 out of 13, and it seems to me that George is going to go for it again. Now can he stop on time? He's not going to go for it, because he knows that going for it means that he probably will not complete the corner in. He's going to end up facing the wrong direction, so he's going to have a go at another point of the Hockenheim circuit. He still has 2 laps to make this move, but he's running a little bit out of time. Scott Davely doing a great job there, making that Ginetta G57 as wide as possible. Lap 12 already for the leaders. Look at this, these drivers 7 and 8, they are 32 seconds behind the leader, who is Kev Allen, which has now entered the penultimate lap of this race. Looking good for the win, Kev Allen in Old Folks Racing PlayStation Summer Season. This is round 7, 3 more rounds to go. Look at this, George is really going for it with Scott Davely, but it is Scott that's going to enter lap 12 ahead of George. And look at the gap for the lead is declining quite substantially. Wow, new leader Del Taylor. What happened? We can see the change in the leaderboard, but we haven't seen what happened on the track. We continue to see Jorge Jesus trying to overtake Scott Davely, but something happened at the front, and the gap was declining, and then all of a sudden Dale Taylor appears as the leader, and I think the cameras are going to go back there, but first let's see if Jorge Jesus is going to go for it. It seems to me that he is going to go, but can he stop in time? And the answer is, well, sort of, and nicely done there by Jorge Jesus. It's not very easy to stop these cars, and this is what happened to Kev Allen. Let's look at this. This is in the hairpin, yes. Oh, and he just keeps turning. Oh, and then, and couldn't press the reset button because he was, well, Del Taylor was already too close. Kev Allen is now in 2nd place, followed by Simon Allen, followed by Diogo Silva. Only 1 more lap to go. Del Taylor is now in a good position to win this race and win again this season. So, mistake by Kev Allen, lost the lead on the penultimate lap of this race. And now can he be back? What's the gap at the front? It is 2.7 seconds. It seems to me a little bit too much. This is Diogo Silva, followed by Jumbo, followed by Darren Head. On board with Darren Head. Look at this, Darren is a little bit all over the place there at the entry of the stadium. And very shortly the leaders are going to start their last lap of this race. Del Taylor is the new leader. He's the 3rd leader of this race. Follows Simon Allen and Kev Allen. Kev is now in 2nd and Simon in 3rd. And we are on the last lap of this race already with Dale Taylor the leader. Let's see what's the gap at the front. It is increasing, in fact, 3.2 seconds now. Dale Taylor is looking good to win this race, and that's a surprising victory, but nicely played by Dale Taylor. He was well, I can't remember where he was on the first lap. It was certainly 5th or 6th. He overtook Diogo Silva, then Simon Allen, and then Kev Allen, and made absolutely no mistake whatsoever as they are negotiating the last few corners of this race. And here he is entering the stadium, Dale Taylor, for the last time. Just a few more corners to go, and he's going to win race 2 of Old Fox Racing PlayStation Summer Season Round 7. Race 2, a few more corners to go, and Dale Taylor is going to be a very good winner of this race. He absolutely nailed it. Perfect domination of this car, and he crosses the line to win the race. Second is Cavallo, and he's going to be disappointed with that. Third is Simon Allen completing the podium. Fourth is going to be, oh look at this is Jumbo and Darren Head, and look at this, Diogo Silva is going to be fourth, and this, who's going to be fifth? Look at this, it's side by side, it's a drag race, and it is, well, I don't know who it is. I think it was Darren Head. Let's see. We are going to have a bit of a photo finish here, which is quite unusual in road courses in Old Fox Racing PlayStation. But wow, this was a great finish there for 5th place. Now let's look at this. This is where it all begins, with Darren now trying to go on the outside of the Sachs curve. A little bit ambitious there, but only a few more corners to go. And of course, both of them are a bit anxious. So, but still very clean racing between the two drivers. Now, what's going to happen? Oh, and this is what happened. The Jumbo just ran wide there, and then has to let Darren go side by side. And it seems to me that it was Jumbo that finished in 5th place, I believe. 6th is going to be Darren Head. 7th is going to be Jorge Jesus, followed by Scott Davely. There they are, and Jorge, after finishing on the podium in race 1. A bit disappointing to finish in 7th place. 8th place Scott Davely. 9th is going to be John Scott, and 10th is going to be David Emge. They are completing the race. Everyone is on the lead lap. There is John Scott already in the stadium, and he is 9 seconds ahead of David, so should be fine to finish in 9th spot. And the 10th is going to be David Emge, the last of the classified finishers, as we complete another round of the summer season in Old Fox Racing PlayStation. There is the confirmation of the results. Oh, it was Darren Head. Darren Head was 5th. Oh, and Jumbo had a penalty. This is well, it's a very interesting round. We'll see you in round 8. Until then, it's bye-bye.